Okay, so I want to start in a comfortable seated, upright seated posture. I wanted to start with a little Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, the alternate nostril breathing. So just to kind of bring ourselves into a balanced and symmetrical place for the start. So find I like using a little bit of a height. You can't see the height I'm on. I'm sitting on a bolster. But you can sit on whatever height you like. It's good to have, as I often say, the plane of your knees to be at or below the plane of the pelvic rim. So for me, especially when I'm just beginning, I need a good deal of height. So this bolster is just right. It allows me to allows the groins, the abdomen, and the lower body to be at ease, which is how we want to be. We want to be at ease, tranquil, and yet energetic. So even though the lower body is passive, it's still you're alert on the sit bones. You want to take that alertness into the whole upper body. So you want to lift the torso and open the chest. We're going to be using the right hand to manipulate the breath. The left hand can either be in Jhana Mudra, extended out onto your leg, or just resting in your lap, or some other mudra or position as you may wish. So then the right hand, the middle finger and index finger are together. The pinky and the ring finger are together. And so the middle finger, index finger either goes on that third eye spot or better on the crown, on the bridge of the nose. And then the thumb goes on the right side of the nostrils, the index finger and the ring finger and pinky go on the left side. So up at the cartilage area. So you want to use as little effort, as little pressure, but just enough pressure to block the inhale, exhale as appropriate. So I'll talk us through this. If you feel agitated or uncomfortable or not getting it, just breathe normally in and out the nose. You can also choose whether to do Jalandhara Bandha, the throat energy lock. So here I have my chin parallel to the floor, but if we want to do the energy lock, you lift the chest and take the chin down. So I'm going to try it this way, but I'm not sure how well I'll be able to talk through it. So we'll see. So take this position as you wish. Breathe comfortably, quietly, evenly in and out both nostrils. Eyes closed. Now take a full inhale through both nostrils. And a full exhale through both nostrils. Close the right side, inhale left. Close both and hold. Open right, exhale. Close both and hold. Open right, inhale. Close and hold. Open left, exhale. Close and hold. Open left, inhale. Close and hold. Open right, exhale. Close and hold. Open right, inhale. Close and hold. Open left, exhale. Close and hold. Open left, inhale. Close and hold. Open right, exhale. Close and hold. Open right, inhale. Close and hold. Open left, exhale. Close and hold. Open left, inhale. Continue for a couple more cycles on your own. And after your next hold, after exhale on the left side, return to normal breathing. All right, so then we'll lie down in Supta Tadasana, supine mountain pose, and have a belt handy. We'll do a little sequence of Supta Parangustasana to kind of ease our way into the seated forward bends. So just lie down, have a little height under your head. And extend your legs as if you're doing standing pose. So your big toe mounds touch. Your big toes are together. You can't really quite see them because of my camera angle on my feet. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs, extending the heels away, inner and outer heels away. Back of the knees and thighs into the floor. Internally circularize the skin and muscles of your thighs and extend your big toe mounds. And then we'll start easily by just bringing the right knee up into the chest and hug that knee into the chest. Noticing your sacrum on the floor. You want your sacrum, buttocks left and right, evenly on the floor. You want your shoulder blades left and right, evenly on the floor. And you want the back of your head resting evenly on the floor as well. And then back to Supta Tadasana. Bring the left knee up, changing the interlace of your fingers. Hug the left knee into your chest as you extend the right heel away. Again, being very aware of keeping the sacrum, buttocks evenly on the floor, shoulder blades evenly on the floor, back of the head balanced symmetrically evenly on the floor. Back to Supta Tadasana. Bring the right knee back up, interlace the fingers around that knee, hug that knee into the chest. Extend that left heel away. And then again through Supta Tadasana to the left side. Hug that left knee, Extend that right heel, extend that right big toe mound. And then back to Supta Tadasana. Take your belt, bring that right knee up into the chest, put the belt around the ball of the foot, extend that right leg up. It's nice, especially when we're starting here, and we're really easing our way in, is to hold the belt kind of the way I do here, so that your elbows can rest on the floor. So this is not an intense, well, for some people it is, but for the most part, it's not a lot of work. You may be feeling it in the hamstring, in the calf. And so you can lower your heel toward the floor a little bit. That takes away that stress. Some people may have to lower it quite a bit. But you keep it up there to where you're just feeling, starting to feel that resistance in the back of the thigh, the hamstrings. And just reside there in that place. And then holding both straps with just one hand, extending your right arm up as far as you can on the strap without lifting your right shoulder blade. Take your left hand out to the left side. Keep the right heel in its plane and bring it over to the right side. You can use a prop like a bolster under your leg if you wish, or just hold it out there or take it to the floor. But keep the sacrum evenly on the floor still. So that here, the left side of the sacrum wants to lift up. There tends to be a gap there between the buttock, left buttock, and the floor when you do this. So you want to resist that left side, that left pelvis, that left buttock, left side of the sacrum. I'm going to keep that moving down into the floor. And then back up to center. Switch hands on the belt. And keeping the sacrum, again, evenly on the floor, keeping the right hip, right sacrum down. Bring the right foot over to the left side, crossing the midline if you can. Most people won't be able to go very far. And then just back up to center. Return that foot to the floor, Supta Tadasana. Switch the belt to the left foot and bring that left leg up, left foot up. And again, bring it to the point where you start to feel that resistance and just hover right there at the beginning of that resistance. Don't push through. This is really, we're using this really as a warm up to the seated forward bends. So we don't want to overdo. We're using this as a warm up, not as an intense part of the class. Extend that left heel up, left sit bone down. So you get a nice extension. Focus on that extension more than the hamstring stretch. We'll have lots of hamstring stretching through the rest of the class. And then reach up with your left hand as far up on the straps as you can without lifting your left shoulder blade. Keeping the right side of the sacrum and thigh on the floor. Bring that left foot over to the left side. Again, keep that right pelvis, right buttock, right sacrum down, moving down. And then back up to center. Switch hands. You're holding the straps with your right hand, keeping the left side of the sacrum on the floor. Bring that left foot across the body's midline to the right side, to whatever extent you can. and then back to center, and then return your feet to the floor. Let the feet and legs just roll out to the sides, and just take a few breaths. All right, so then bend your knees, roll to your side, and push up to a seated posture. Sit on a little bit of a height. And I want to talk just for a couple of minutes about Ujjayi Pranayama. So this is the one where we engage principally three bandhas: the Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jalandhara Bandha. So I want to talk about it at the beginning of the class because you can employ these throughout the seated forward bends if you wish. If it complicates things, and whenever you're doing pranayama, if you find yourself agitated or disturbed, it's best to just go back to regular breathing rather than forcing it. So just take it easy on yourself. Stay within yourself and be kind of, kind to yourself about this. Don't beat yourself up about not getting it. Don't force yourself through resistance. Just, it should be a comfortable and calm and pleasing thing, even if it's some work. So for Mula Bandha, we want to locate the Muladhara chakra. So for just a moment, extend your left foot and bring your right heel under you and sit on your right heel, such that the heel is kind of poking into the perineum, right in between the genitals and the anus. So it's not particularly comfortable. It's a little oddly balanced and, kind of relatively unpleasant. We're not going to stay here. The idea here is sit for a moment and be aware of that spot and see if you can contract, engage the perineum right at that point of contact with the heel. And that is the central perineal tendon. That's the spot of it. And that is the neuromuscular beginning point for Mula Bandha. It's not precisely Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha is part of like the energy body, so to speak. But this is a physical guide to where that is and what we do. So we want to engage that central perineal tendon with Mula Bandha, and then we want to lift the pelvic floor. And then as you do that in Mula Bandha, you want to engage the full front urogenital triangle. So there's a set of muscles from that point where your heel is touching, and then it comes forward through the genital area. So the idea here is that you initiate Mula Bandha by contracting or engaging that central perineal tendon. And then as you fully move into Mula Bandha, you engage the whole front side. You don't engage the back side. So the anal sphincter, the anal side of the anal triangle, muscular triangle, you don't engage. That's a different thing. That's Ajvini Mudra. It's important. We'll work with that another time. This is Mula Bandha. So that's that. So go ahead and return to a comfortable seated posture. And then for Uddiyana Bandha, I'm going to go ahead and take off my shirt. Just most everybody here knows what this looks like, but for people who may look at the video later, just to be able to see it. The idea here is to just draw the navel and the area of the solar plexus back toward the spine. So it basically just looks neuromuscularly like this. It's just a drawing back. If you can do this, you can create a vacuum in the chest, which will bring a full pulling back of the navel, and then combined with the Mula Bandha, there's a kind of a swoosh of lifting up into the chest. So that For that, you have to fully exhale and just watch. Then you hold your breath, expand your chest, and create the vacuum. Then you release that before you inhale. So that's Ujjayi, that's Uddiyana Bandha. Now, when we're doing these poses, it may be a bit much to do that whole vacuum thing, but you can nonetheless neuromuscularly draw the abdomen back. So that's an option. So keep that in mind as we go through the seated forward bends. The final one is Jalandhara Bandha, which is the throat lock. And so for that one, it's what we did or had as an option in the Nadi Shodhana breath. You lift your chest, you lift the sternum from the bottom to the top and the top up. And then you take your chin down. So it's a bit of a chin lock. You then draw the front throat toward the back throat. You restrict the nasal passageway and you amplify that sound, that aspirated sound of the breath in your head. So that's just to touch on that so that you can employ that to the extent that you wish in the seated forward bends, which will now start. So it's good to sit on some bit of height. Just a folded blanket will do. Have your belt handy. If you have two belts, have the other one somewhere nearby. We'll get to it. Sit on the edge of your blanket such that your sit bones are fully on the blanket, but your thighs are off. So really the edge of the fold on the blanket aligns with the groin seam in back. That's kind of the ideal idea. Or, ideal or otherwise, it's good to do. Then we want to kind of pull the skin and muscles of the buttocks, separating the sit bones away from each other. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs, extend the heels forward, extend the big toe mounds forward, big toe mounds and big toes touching. Take your belt around the ball of the feet. Start like so, with a nice lift in the upper body and the elbows. So we don't want to be collapsing through these forward bends. We want to keep as much of the lift and openness in the chest as we can throughout. So this is a good guide. It's hard to round your back if you're keeping your elbows lifted like this. It makes you almost want to stay open and lifted. So you can't do this all the time in the poses, but start this way. So you've got that feel. Okay, keep those heels extending, keep the big toe mounds extending, keep the kneecaps firm into the thighs, alert and upright on the sit bones, torso lift, chest open, inhale, exhale, rotate through the groins, through the hips to come forward to a position where you're just kind of halfway through where your maximum would be. So no more than 45 degrees. Now, extend the navel and sternum forward, arch the low back. It's almost like doing a back bend in your forward bend. Just be here and breathe. Take a few breaths. And then inhale and come back up. Reset as you may wish. Get a good structure. Extend the heels forward, the sit bones back. Inhale, lift the chest, open the chest. Exhale, come forward to that position one again. And as you're here, look forward. Extend your heels forward. Extend your sit bones back. Tighten the kneecaps into the thighs. Press the back of the knees and thighs into the floor. And now we'll inhale again. And then we exhale and come into your full forward position, either using the belt or grabbing your feet or your legs. Fully extend, and with another exhale, fold into your full forward bend. Paschimottanasana. and then inhale and come up. Now the second time I'll kind of give the cues for the Ujjayi Pranayama if you wish to use it. The idea would be to engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha on the exhales. Although you can also vary that with holding of the breath. So we'll see how it all goes. I'm going to do it. We'll do it 2 more times here. I'll do the cues 2 different ways. One with holding the breath and one not holding the breath. So start again with a nice upright Tadasana. You can use a belt or not. I'm going to skip the belt this time. We're going to go right into the full Paschimottanasana. So extend the heels forward, sit bones back, kneecaps firm into the thighs, internal rotation with the skin and muscles of the thighs, alert on the sit bones, torso lifts, chest open. You can use your belt or you can bring your arms up with an inhale. Exhale, come forward and go into the full forward bend, Paschimottanasana. Let the head and neck release, which brings you into the Jalandhara Bandha. Now on an inhale, expand the chest, and with your exhale, engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha if you wish. Release the bandhas. Inhale. Engage those bandhas as you exhale. Release as you inhale. Engage as you exhale. Release as you inhale. Engage as you exhale. Continue on your own as you wish. Then on your next inhale, come back up to Dandasana. Take a few breaths, we'll do again. This time through, I'm going to add in the cues for holding the breath. If you're not into that, don't do it. If it's not comfortable, don't do it. Just breathe normally or repeat what we just did. All right, upright to Dandasana, extend the heels, tighten the kneecaps, lift the torso, chest open. Either use your strap or bring your arms up. Inhale, exhale, come forward and fold into your full forward bend, Paschimottanasana. Take a couple of breaths through the nose. Now I'll give the cues for the breath. Without bandhas, inhale. Hold and engage Mula Bandha only. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana Bandha. Release the bandhas. Inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas. Inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas. Inhale. Continue on your own as you wish. Then after your next exhale, come back up to a seated, to your Dandasana. Okay, Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Bring the right foot up against, but not under your left thigh. Press down on the big toe now, just to turn the foot momentarily to where the sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Right hand on right knee, left hand to the side. Just kind of turn the torso. There's just a tiny bit of a twist in this pose, Janu Shirshasana. And we'll start the same way by using the strap, if you wish, for the halfway point, the first position. So however you're doing, you want to have a nice upright posture. So your torso is centered more or less over, pointing in the direction of your left thigh, left leg. Inhale. Exhale, come to that first position. Focus here on keeping the lift in the elbows, the length of the navel and sternum out over that left leg. Extension of the left heel forward, the left sit bone back. And almost a bit of an arch or a concavity in the low back before we go into the full forward bend. And then inhale and come up. Second time through, you can use the belt or not. I'm going to skip the belt for the second time through. I'm going to keep that turning of the torso toward that extended left leg. And then either use your belt or bring your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, come forward to the first position. Look forward, arching the low back. Inhale. Exhale, extend and fold into the full forward bend. Let the head and neck release. Breathe here in and out the nose. So I'm going to cue the regular breath here. So inhale through both nostrils. Engage both Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha as you exhale. Release the bandhas and inhale. Engage the bandhas as you exhale. Release the bandhas as you inhale. Engage the bandhas as you exhale. Continue on your own. As you can see, there's almost like a bit of a tidal flow to the inhale and exhale when you start to do it this way. So just kind of go with that. And then after your next exhale, return to normal breathing, and with an inhale, come back up to the starting point. We'll stay here and we'll do again on this left side. Take a few comfortable breaths. This time we'll go right into the full Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. So again, keeping your torso aligned over that extended left leg, keeping the kneecap firm into the thigh, keep the heel extended, the sit bone extended the other way. Torso, chest lifting and open. Bring the arms up or use your belt. Inhale, exhale, extend, and fold into the full Janu Shirshasana. Take a couple of breaths, normal, easy breaths through the nostrils. And then I'll talk you through the full breath, the Ujjayi Pranayama. So now inhale, hold the breath and engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold and add Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, add Uddiyana Bandha. Release the bandhas, inhale, and continue as you wish. And after your next hold, after exhale, with your inhale, you can come back up to Dandasana, staff pose. And then to the second side. You bring the left foot up against the right thigh, push down on that big toe mound just to turn the foot for a moment or two with the sole of the foot facing the ceiling. Again, we want to be really upright with the torso, chest open, left hand on the left thigh, right hand out to the side. So you can kind of get that feeling of that little turning toward that extended right leg. So then, again, the belt here is optional. I'm going to use the belt on this first run through. So we're going to go to the halfway point only. So extend that right heel forward, left sit bone back, turning the torso, aligning it with that extended right leg. Torso lifted, chest open, inhale. Exhale, come to your position one. We're looking forward, we're arching the low back, we're extending the heel forward, the sit bone back, kneecap firm into the thigh, back of the knee and thigh into the floor. Then inhale, come back up. Get a reset for your basic structure. And then we'll go again, we'll go to the first position, then the second position. So either use the belt or bring your arms up. Inhale, exhale, come forward. Extend the navel and sternum out over your leg. Extend the heel forward, the sit bone back. And with an exhale then, extend and fold into the full forward bend, Janu Shirshasana. Head and neck release, which takes you into the Jalandhara Bandha. And then I'll talk you through a couple of cycles of the breath without holds, without the kumbhakas. So we inhale, engage Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha as we exhale. Release the bandhas on the inhale. Engage the bandhas on the exhale. Release on the inhale. Engage on the exhale. And continue on your own. And then after your next exhale, you can breathe normally and then come up with an inhale. Reset your posture, Dandasana with the leg bent up for preparation for Janu Shirshasana. And we do again. Either use the belt or bring your arms up, inhale, and with the exhale, go into the full pose, Janu Shirshasana. Let the head and neck release. Take that Jalandhara Bandha, a little contraction there at the base of the throat. And now we inhale, hold and engage Mula Bandha, that engagement of the central perineal tendon only. Keep that Mula Bandha as you exhale, hold, and Uddiyana Bandha. Release the bandhas, inhale, hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale, hold, engage Uddiyana Bandha. Release the bandhas, inhale, hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale, hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale, continue on your own. for a couple more cycles. And then after your next exhale or hold after exhale, normal breathing, and then with an inhale, come back up. And just sit comfortably for several breaths. Okay, so until we get to the end of the class, I'm not going to talk anymore about breath, pranayama. I'll mention breath a couple of times, but basically, the pranayama, you're on your own now. If you wish to employ it, do so. If you don't, just proceed with the asanas. Okay, so Triyang Mukai Kapata Paschimottanasana. 3-footed foundation, seated forward bend. So I prefer to do this without a height under my sit bones, but height under the sit bones is fine. You can sit on a block, would be probably the best thing if you wish to do so. So you start in Dandasana. We're going to bring the right foot back as if we're doing hero pose. Now you want both sit bones evenly on the floor. So if you can't do it with your sit bones evenly on the floor, then you can sit on a block. One way you can help get the evenness if you're close, I'm getting a bit of a foot cramp here, is to kind of grab some skin muscles of the left buttock and pull it this way, which kind of helps you shift your pelvis a bit so that the sit bones are evenly on the floor. Okay, so this one also you can use with a belt if you wish. I'll do that to start. We're not going to do the breaking up of this so much. We're going to go right into the poses. But keep in mind that same structure of we want to keep the lift and openness in the chest and rotate through the hip, not rounding the back until you get into the full pose. So using the belt or otherwise, sit really upright, alert on the sit bones. Inhale. Exhale. Extend forward. Pause for a breath, getting that extension of the navel and sternum, and then with another exhale, go fully into the pose. Triyana Mukai Kapata Paschimottanasana. Use whatever breath you wish, or just breathe normally in and out the nose. And then with an inhale, come up, come back to Dandasana. Bring the left foot back. It'd be nice to press the ball mound down into the floor. I won't go into the details of that too much, as I sometimes do. Torso aligned, really with the right leg, but kind of in between the two thighs. So you're really symmetrical. Torso lifts, chest open, use a belt if you wish, or bring your arms up. Inhale, exhale, come forward, look forward, lengthen the navel and sternum, and with an exhale, fold into the full Triyana Mukai Kapata Paschimottanasana. Head and neck release. Three-footed foundation, seated forward bend. And then with an inhale, come back up and come back to Dandasana. All right, let me check my notes. Moving slowly through this, but that's kind of what I wanted. I didn't want to rush anything. All right. Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. a little crowded here with all my props and things. I'm in a little room. So legs wide apart. You can sit on a height if you wish. Again, just sitting on the sit bones. And pull the skin and muscles of the buttocks and sit bones away from each other. Extend the legs. Keep the kneecaps firm into the thighs. We want to be careful not to overstress these big tendons here in the inner thigh or the groin. So one way to help protect that is to keep the kneecaps firm into the thighs and to keep extending the heels. So then with the hands on the floor, lift and open the chest. Again, once we go into this pose, feel free to employ the bandhas, the pranayama if you wish. Bring the arms up, inhale. Exhale, take the arms down in front of you and rotate through the hips just to the point of resistance here. Don't push through it. Like I'm already feeling that. These days I'm a little tight in here on the left side. So I'm not gonna force through that. I'm just gonna come up to it, just kind of touch on that point of resistance and then just hover there. So wherever you are in that forward bend, let the head and neck release. And breathe in and out the nose, using whatever breath you wish. Wide angle pose, Upavishta Konasana. And then with an inhale, come up. Catch your thighs and bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, round angle pose. Interlace your fingers underneath your feet. Use that as leverage to help you maintain a nice upright posture. This one is a pose that everybody wants to round the back because it's hard to keep, for most of us, to keep the torso really lifted and open here. Keep the heels pressing together, chest open, inhale, exhale, rotate through the hips, bringing the chest, navel and sternum out over the legs and toward the floor, and then let the head and neck release. Again, find whatever breath you wish to use. Then inhale, come up. And let's go back to wide angle. Again, extend the heels, tighten the kneecaps, back of the knees and thighs into the floor. Torso lifts, chest open. Bring the arms up. Inhale, exhale, come forward to just that point of at the edge of your comfort zone. Lengthen the navel and sternum forward. If you were going to do it, if you had that capacity, which I will never have, if you fold forward, you would want your navel to touch the floor first, then your sternum, then your forehead. Like I could probably put my forehead on the floor, but it would have to be by distorting the pose. We want to rotate the nicely elongated torso through the hips and moving the navel out and down, the chest out, forward and down. And then let the head and neck release. Find whatever breath you wish to use here. And then with an inhale, ease your way back up. Bring the feet together into Baddha Konasana, bowed angle. Again, interlacing the fingers, lift the torso, open the chest, inhale, exhale, rotate through the hips, let the head and neck release. Find your breath here. And then with an inhale, come back up to a comfortable cross-legged posture. So now we'll do one kind of big pose, Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. I like to at least throw in one kind of challenging pose, even when we're doing a fairly basic sequence. So for this, you may want 2 belts, or you may not, but have them if you have. If you have them within reach. Extend the legs forward in Dandasana, staff pose. Nice upright torso, upright and alert on the sit bones. Take the right leg up and bring it into half lotus if you can. If you can't bring that right foot up onto the left thigh, you can do it just as we did with Janu Shirshasana against the left thigh. That's okay. Now, we're going to have a belt position so that you can use it around your foot like so, if you wish to do so. And then the second belt is if you cannot reach. So you're going to take your right hand behind you, wrap it around and catch your right big toe. Or if you can't reach, if you don't have long arms like I do, then you can use the belt like so. So whichever way you wish to do, take that position. If you wish to use a belt around the left foot, you can do so as well. I'll forgo both of those. Extend that left leg, left heel, tighten the kneecap, thigh moves to the back of the thigh moves to the floor. Left, either using the belt or your left arm extended up. Inhale, exhale, come forward, look forward, arch the navel, arch the low back, lengthen the navel and sternum, and then with another exhale, fold into the forward bend, let the head and neck release, and find whatever breath you wish to use. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, half bound lotus, seated forward bend. And then release, inhale, come back up to staff pose, Dandasana. Take the left foot onto the right thigh if you can, or against the right thigh if you're not able to do that right now. Extend that right heel, kneecap firm into the thigh. Reach around with your left hand to catch the left big toe. Either use a belt to bring your right arm up. Inhale, exhale. Come to the halfway point. Inhale, lengthen the navel and sternum. And with another exhale, fold into the forward bend. Let the head and neck release. Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Find your breath. And then release. Inhale, come up, come to your Dandasana. And now go right into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Even here, you can do that pranayama if you wish. And now downward facing hero pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. Knees down, knees apart, big toes touch. Sit back on your heels, extend your hands forward, forehead down to the floor. Find whatever breath you wish to use here. And then ease your way up with an inhale. And we'll head towards Shavasana. I want to do a little more pranayama, the Ujjayi pranayama, but lying down. So once we're done with that pranayama, you'll just release into Shavasana. So set yourself up with whatever structure you're going to want to rest down into your Shavasana at the end. So something like this, a blanket, something to use as a pillow under your head, a little lift. Now, after doing those back bends and things, I think it's really valuable to either use the chair posture that I showed last week with your legs up on a chair, or to have a bolster under your knees if you have some height under your knees. Or you can have it on top of your thighs, or both. I'm going to go with just this structure. This allows the whole lower body that we've been really engaging pretty deeply. This allows it to release. It also allows the abdomen to release. It allows the lower abdomen, the groins to release. So this is a really nice structure for being able to move into the Ujjayi pranayama. And again, only do what you're comfortable with. I'm going to give the cues for all of the holds and the bandhas. But if you're not into that, just breathe normally in and out the nose, or do that form of the breath where you engage the bandhas on the exhale and release them on the inhale. There's a really nice ebb and flow that you can get into with that. And it can be a very calming, very, connected kind of way to do pranayama and to just be. So do as you wish on that. In any case, as you settle down into the floor here, again, look for that symmetry. Look for the balance and symmetry of your lower body, your legs evenly extended or resting over a bolster. Feel the evenness of the sacrum, the left and right sides on the floor. The shoulder blades, even on the floor, the shoulders. The back of the head, balanced comfortably and symmetrically on the floor. Your arms extended out, hands resting on the floor, palms up with your upper arms externally rotated. If you wish, you can bring your hands to your abdomen or torso, palms down. Breathe quietly, evenly in and out, both nostrils. So now begin with the Ujjayi pranayama. Take a full breath through both nostrils with an inhale and a full exhale. Inhale, lift, expand, fill the chest with air. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, engage Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. Hold, engage Mula Bandha. Keep Mula Bandha as you exhale. Hold, add Uddiyana. Release the bandhas, inhale. And continue on your own with whatever breath you're comfortable with. After your next hold after exhale, return to normal breathing. Release into your Shavasana. Move to a quiet, tranquil, yet still energetic breath. That tranquility may even lead you to a place where, for some period of time, your breath and your mental chatter may find themselves in suspension. A pause and a quiet moment of almost non-being. Just release into a quiet, tranquil, energetic Shavasana. So you can feel free to just stay in your Shavasana if you wish. I'm going to talk everyone out at the end of the class. Take a few deeper breaths, bring awareness back into fingers and toes. Let your eyes open. Bring your hands to your abdomen or torso. Bend your knees and roll to your side. Take a few more breaths here. When you come up, keep your neck and throat soft. Bring the crown of your head up last. So you use some arm strength and gently push to a seated posture. All right. Thank you all for coming. Namaste.
Namaste.
So we'll have our, for those who wish to participate, a class on New Year's Day at 10 a.m. So feel free to join. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Stay safe.
Bye.
See how much smoother results.